Very demure, very cutesy. Notice how he doesn't try to wriggle out and escape because he loves me. Very demure. Be mindful of why I'm picking you up and putting you on my lap. Nimbus, that's not very demure.
Oh, I don't think this is okay. No, okay. Hi, welcome to my Fortnite mini episode. Much like the last mini episode, it's kind of like, how did we get here? And unfortunately, I'm not going to be alone to tell this story. I actually have with me Firehouse Subs Esports, not a person actually, shockingly. No, this is my bot lobby account I use on my Switch. So I'm just going to ready up here and let history tell the rest. Shockingly, my Switch is lagging right now, which is, you know, it's funny because I'm recording on my computer and you'd expect that to be the laggy device, but no, somehow it's my Switch. All right, let's get into this. All right, you're peering straight into my computer's soul right now. This is actually how my game looks. So anyway, why are we on Fortnite? And why are we playing with Firehouse Subs Esports? So basically, let's start with the first question. So I woke up today to my alarm, as I always do. And I was like, I'm just going to sleep in just a little bit. It's a mini episode day. It's not the end of the world if I'm a little late to the studio. Oh, well. And that's how it was. So I slept in just a little bit. My brother had some tasks to do with a friend and his girlfriend. And so, you know, I was just sleeping in. And then my brother gets home and he's like, you want to play Fortnite? And, you know, this new season's really fun. And I'm like, I do. I kind of got a podcast day, but I will. With my plan being like, I'll leave the house at like 11 or 11:15 or so. And essentially, I just didn't do that. I just didn't leave the house in time to actually like make it to my recording session, which isn't like the end of the world. Like, technically, I really should have emailed like the facilitator of that space. I really should have done that. But I didn't. Am I using Deadpool's because on this? I can't tell. Oh well. Actually, I 100% am. Oh well. I should have emailed the professor that lets us use that space, but I didn't. And so I didn't actually tell anyone that I wasn't there today. So after I run Fortnite with my brother and do a bunch of tasks, it's like closer to 3 or 3:30. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try to go to the space now. And the door was locked. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the like asshole that's like, hey, my, the door's locked. I'd like to, record right now. It's like, that's insane. So I just kind of said, I'll find another solution. And this is what you're looking at is my other solution. So that is that. And turn down my game audio a bit just in case it's like shockingly loud. I wouldn't want to disturb the audio listeners trying to drive to work to the sound of Fortnite. But anyway, I just didn't want to do another like car episode. So I was like, I'll just load up some Fortnite and it'll be kind of like a funny little twist. If this gameplay looks unbearable, by the way, just like in terms of frame rate, in terms of like graphic quality, I'm with you. It's amazing how much you can upgrade a computer to still, run a game so horribly. It's actually astonishing. I've put probably like $1,500 into this computer, in many ways, and it still runs like this, which is so funny. It's like, oh, you have dreams of being a content creator. It's like, yeah, this is what it looks like when I record videos on my computer. Amazing. I have a 3090, I think, maybe, and the best CPU that this motherboard can handle, which I guess, isn't a lot, clearly. But yeah, I'm back. This is my second mini-sode in August. I don't think there's gonna be any more soon. We kind of knew this was coming up. And I, honestly, I probably intended both would be in the studio, but oh well. My idea actually, I had two big ideas. My first idea was I was gonna actually travel to Minnesota. But then I found out that that's, you know, despite it bordering New Mexico, it's actually a super long drive to really get to Minnesota. It's like 3.5 hours from where I'm at to get to just the border of Minnesota, and then to actually get into like Minneapolis or anywhere I'd actually want to be, it's like a 5-hour drive, which I didn't know. So that's tough. And if I could actually find a friend to do it with, I would have, but I just couldn't find any friends. And you know, it's like you text people and they just continue ghosting you. It's like, wow. And then my other idea was there was this Albanian guy from our our pop culture and the media class. And he was kind of funny. He was just always talking about Albania, kind of in like a super cringe way, but like almost in a, like just a fascinating way, where it's like, at first it's like, oh, this guy kind of talks about Albania every now and then it's like, damn, he talks about Albania a lot. And then it gets to annoying when it's like, oh my God, all he talks about is Albania. And then it reaches a point where it's like, you kind of got to respect it though. He like really just talks about Albania. Yeah, so he's talking about Albania a shit ton. And so I thought it would just be funny to actually get him on the podcast. I just didn't end up doing that, partly because I don't know if he's in Albania for the summer, and then partly because it's like, I don't know, do I really want to spend like an hour and a half with him? You know, of all people to spend time with in a confined space. It's like I'd rather just do my own episode. But I didn't expect one of them to be in my car and one of them to be in Fortnite. That is definitely not how I expected it to go. That kind of blows my mind. That's how things are ending up. Sorry for the audio listeners. I'm fighting Dr. Doom right now. He's pretty powerful. It kind of reminds me. I had a haircut one time where, there you go. We're fighting Doombot, I should say, not the real Dr. Doom. I had a haircut one time. It was my first time at this like really, not like really nice salon, but it was a nicer type of salon, I guess, than I was like accustomed to. And so they're making like, you know, a distinct effort to like have like flowing conversation with me. But I like don't really have a lot to talk about, you know? So they're like, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, not a lot right now. This is like November, maybe. I'm like, just playing Fortnite, you know, with my brother a lot. And then I think she said, what skin do you play as? And I was like, oh, I used to play as Skull Trooper a lot. And she goes, oh, it doesn't sound like you play as Skull Trooper so much anymore. And I'm like, no. And it was just like the lamest conversation ever. I was just reflecting in that moment, like, good God, I am talking to my hairdresser about what Fortnite skin, like my Fortnite skin, you know, patterns. Like, that's crazy. So that just reminded me of that. Just updating the audio listeners about what's happening in Fortnite, because they care so much. And just like my hairdresser cares so much. But anyway, yeah, I really had bigger ideas for my minisodes. One of them I should probably stop leaking all my ideas because inevitably I'm going to need another. But I was going to get really deep and personal and like kind of try to make myself cry, and just with the topics I was talking about, not even like fake cry. I was just genuinely going to try to get so emotional that would happen. And then at the last like minute or two, it would cut to me in the other chair in like a different outfit. Like, yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, that kind of, I hear what you're saying, and it would just be funny because it's like, I'm, you know, just crying. And then there's like another person there. Not really like, it's not like me representing Jesse there. It's just like, just the idea that there's someone else in the room. Like I would do the whole episode as like, hey, welcome to my mini-sode. And then I would get really emotional and do that. And then it would like be funny because there's someone else. Or I think I would get someone to do that part. A big problem about a lot of my ideas is like having people to do that with. Because like Jess is like the first person that I've actually met that's like really content brained in a similar way to me. You know, obviously I have more experience in like direct content creation. Wow, dude, this game is insanely slow. and low FPS. I feel bad for anyone who's like trying to take the gameplay seriously. You're genuinely watching a slideshow, and I'm so sorry. But anyway, Jess is the first person that I've like actually met that seems like aware of like the way like the internet works and how content works, and like I'm really grateful for that, because I had like kind of a friend group that understood like internet humor, I guess, in like my junior year, but they weren't doing anything towards like content creation. That's where I feel like that's what I really like about Jess, is like it's like we have this like kind of similar understanding of how content creation works at like its core, you know. I have to reset my audio systems again. Happens a damn lot. And so that's really cool. But I don't have any other friends that I feel the same way like that about. And I don't really know how to meet people like that. That's the thing. Is like, I took a class titled TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram last year. And unfortunately, with the way this campus works, it wasn't a ton of like the people I'd expect to meet in a class like that. It was kind of more... It was more people who feel like they want to get into content creation, but felt like they missed out on like the core principles of how that works. So they took a class taught by like a 45-year-old man to do that. And I don't know. The group wasn't right for me. I also happened to sleep in like 98% of those classes. So maybe I also just didn't meet people, but it just didn't feel like the type of people I wanted to take a class like that, you know, and meet. But so I don't know if there's any other way to find people like that on this. You kind of just have to bump into the right people. And I'm sort of a believer in that, like, you'll find the people you need to find just naturally over time. Also, because that's just kind of how it works. But yeah, it just sucks how rare it is to find people I feel like I really connect with. And I really hate like wasting time, energy, and like friendship on people who I don't super duper connect with like that. And then I have a problem where when I do find someone that I feel that connection to, and I don't exactly know how to describe it. It's not just like if they're chronically online. It's like, no, like there's like a level of like, I think it's like a level of creativity that like goes beyond just bare creativity, but not it's not like people who are actively doing something with it. It's just like, I don't know. There's just a spark that's in some people and that's just not in others. That I get really excited when I see that spark, and I often scare those people. And I over obsess, and I like freak them out to like a really bad degree, where like, I don't know, I'm just so happy to find someone that's like cool, and then I just make them dislike me. And I can't really understand that. Like, I'm recently finding out about some like drama I was in, just because nobody communicates. But with a former teacher actually, who I like went to have coffee with a bunch, and so she started ghosting me after our third meetup, just because I was like, I felt like a really strong connection between us. Like after that third one, I went into a bunch of my history, she went into a bunch of her history, and I was like, wow, we really got some shit done there. And so I was texting her a little more, I guess, and then she just wasn't responding. And so I thought the solution, I don't know. I thought the solution would just be to like text every couple of days. And then it came every couple of weeks. And then she still wasn't responding. So eventually I gave up. But now she's going around saying I was like spamming her and stalking her. And it's like, oh man. And it's like, you're 25. Why is it like this? And it's like, why aren't we communicating? And I just hate shit like that. So I just get really scared that like when I find someone I connect with, I have a certain way of like trying to become friends. And I think Jess like touched on that a little bit in one of these episodes where she was like, you know, yeah, initially when Nolan was texting me, I was like, wow, she's coming on a little strong. And it's like, I don't know how to like fix that. Because in my opinion, like that's how I want friendship to be. Like that's how I want to reach out to people. That's how I want to stay in touch with people, is texting them every day, just a funny little thought I had and hearing a funny little thought back, or a question mark, or like, tell me more. That's like what friendship needs to be for me. And so every time I meet someone who's like super uncomfortable with that, like, I don't know, I just see it as like why should I force myself to like want to be friends with people less so that a general amount of people are like more comfortable, you know? And maybe that's like a main character like flaw thing of me, where it's like I'm you know, obsessed with myself and narcissistic, and I think everyone should want to be friends with me the way I want to be friends. I don't know, but it just feels like crazy when I'm being accused of like stalking and shit. Like, what do you mean? So I don't know. I don't like that. But anyway, update for the audio listeners. I've got 11 kills right now, 22 people left. And the reason we're doing so good, and video listeners, you might have picked up, is we are in a complete and 100% bot lobby. And this is actually how I choose to play. Oh, I'm gonna cough. This is how I choose to play Fortnite, because I am like so bad at the game normally. I really like bot lobbies. It feels like this nice like single player experience that like I don't have to think too hard about. I can just go in here and I can just go in and like shoot 20 bots and just get all my challenges done and not have to worry about like, you know, solo queuing over and over and over until I get the victory. Like, this is just mind-numbing Fortnite at its best, and I really like that. And that's what Firehouse Subs Esports was for. That's an account that basically if I join, it's just on my Switch, you know, 3 feet away from me. If I join it and join the game and leave, why do I sound so weird? I'm like talking through my nose. If I join the game and leave, or join it, yeah, if I join the party, start a game, and then leave on my Switch, technically that account has never played a game, so it just resets. And you just do that over and over and over. And if it ever breaks, you just make a new account. And I feel like someday they're going to fix it. Someday they're going to remove XP. But for now, this is just seriously my ideal way to play Fortnite. I remember it used to actually give you a crown. That's like the one thing they did actually remove, is you can no longer farm crown wins from bot lobbies. But I think that's okay. I think that's fair. As long as we can still get challenges done. What a weird circle. Keeps running me back and forth. But I do love the way the podcast is going, and I feel bad for not making episodes for so many weeks in a row, or like not editing them. I guess we were still making them. There's a folder of lost episodes, and I sort of feel bad about that, but I don't know. I'll master my productivity cycles someday. For now, this is just how things are. Again, real sorry to anyone who thought like my computer was capable of, I don't know, recording Fortnite. So sorry. Yeah, that's just out the fucking window. Just gone. Oh my God, just so gone. Oh, and it gets worse. As the circle closes and as there's less people, it just only gets worse. And that's, you know, kind of the best part. But I am liking this new Fortnite season. I bought the first 100 levels just because it's kind of like a throwback thing for me and my brother to like you know, I did this the first Marvel season, and we kind of just made an oath. Wow, that was a cool kill. We kind of just made an oath before the season even started, like regardless of the battle pass, this is what we're doing. And so I just kind of held up to that. I don't even really like most of the skins in the battle pass. As you can see, I'm playing as the tier 1 skin at level 143. I don't know why I'm coughing so much, but that's what I'm doing. Not a huge fan of the battle pass. Honestly, I'm more excited for the item shop skins. I'm astonished they're being so, excuse me, can we just a solid 30 FPS? That'd be great. Oh my God. Are you seeing this shit? I'm astonished the way they're doing the item shops. It's kind of pissing me off because it's like, yeah, you have 3 million players on day 2 of the season. And what Marvel skins do you have in the shop? Oh, nothing. Yeah, just the X-Men. Just the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's all. Excuse me, like just 30 frames per second, please. Please, this is the smallest circle we've had all game. Least amount of people you've had to load. Like genuinely, you don't have to load anybody, anything really. You're not in like a complex environment. This happens a lot. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need to save up like $5,000 and just build a fucking NASA PC. It blows me away. It blows me away how bad this computer is. Never good enough. All right, let's get in there. Let's get our hands dirty. All right, just last person right here. Gotta get a pickaxe skill. All right, that's it. Here we go. There we go. We've done it. I think that's my mini episode. Kind of a shorter one. So if you liked that, please drop a like and a comment, maybe even a subscribe, and we might even do some gaming on the inevitable Patreon someday. Who knows? Stay tuned for next week. We'll be back to normal episodes. Oh my God, next week is September. No. Oh, stay tuned for next week. We'll be back to normal episodes. And yeah, thanks for tagging along for these 2 Nolan mini episodes. They haven't been exactly normal, but you know what? That's the first thing about me. Thank you all. Goodbye. See you next week. Goodbye.